Hi, this is Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of RegAlytics. I had some weird technical snafu with yesterday's recording, so you're getting this closer to real time than normal here in my workout gear, prepping for school drop-off. But I am faithfully here with your update on this week's 60,563 regulatory alerts from 12,090 agencies around the world. Yes, we cracked the 12,000 mark last week, and for those of you paying attention, we were at 8,000 in January, and then we released Gowan, and our lives are forever better. The regulator of the week is Iowa. Governor Kim Reynolds just signed House File 2676, the Iowa Make America Healthy Again Act, which will take effect on July 1st. The bill prohibits certain food additives in school meals statewide. It requires health professionals to complete continuing education in nutrition and metabolic health, and it mandates 40 hours of nutrition coursework for new medical school graduates, and it requires schools to stock EpiPens. And on that very same day, the governor also signed a second bill making it so federal food assistance can only be used for healthy food in Iowa. This is interesting because right now SNAP benefits, which is basically food stamps, are from the federal government to the states, and there are no restrictions on what you can buy with them. The states, however, if they want to restrict what can be bought with them, they have to get permission from the federal government. So Iowa already had gotten permission, and this new law codifies it. So it is now permanent Iowan law. Now, MAHA, or Make America Healthy Again, it's a phrase that carries a lot of political baggage for some of you, and I get that. So I just want to call it what it really is, food safety, and go alert by alert, because when you look at what is actually happening in the regulatory data this week, the underlying concerns are real, they are global, and frankly, they cross every political line you can draw. So the topic of the week is food safety. So 3 alerts, 3 countries. Let's just take a look and see what we can learn from each method of a regulatory body dealing with food safety. The first alert from this week is domestic. So yesterday, the FDA finalized a brand new post-market chemical safety assessment program. What is a post-market chemical safety assessment program? Well, when the FDA approves a food additive or chemical, that approval is based on the science available at the time. And for a lot of these chemicals, BHT, ADA, and hundreds of others, that approval actually happened decades ago, sometimes in the 1950s and 60s under what is called the GRAS designation, which stands for Generally Recognized as Safe. Once something gets that label, it basically just stays approved indefinitely. Nobody's ever required to go back and check whether the science still held up. So, a post-market assessment program is the FDA saying, okay, we're going to stop assuming that just because we approved something 40 years ago, it's still fine. We're going to proactively go back through the list, pick chemicals that are widely used or that have raised new questions, and reassess them with current science. 2 additives are under review: BHT, which is a preservative in cereals and snack foods, and ADA, the so-called yoga mat chemical, that doesn't sound good, that is used as a dough conditioner in commercial bread. So both have been in the U.S. food supply for decades under the Generally Recognized as Safe designation, and the manufacturers now have until July 13th to submit safety data. This is a significant shift in how the FDA approaches chemicals that are already in the supply chain. Now, the second alert this week is from India. The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India issued a national enforcement directive this week, cracking down on calcium carbide as an artificial ripening agent in fruit markets. So calcium carbide is banned there because it produces a gas when it contacts moisture, and it creates a health hazard. And yet vendors keep using it because it ripens fruit overnight. So India is now deploying field inspectors with strip paper tests across the country. The third alert is from South Korea. The Ministry of Food and Drug Safety announced twice yearly inspections of food products coming from countries where marijuana is legal. They're looking specifically for orders from online shops selling gummies and beverages, and they will be looking at 55 substances, including THC, CBD, and other kratom derivatives. So now you know there's a place that you can go for anything you want in regulation, from chemicals, food safety, cannabis, financial services. And that's it this week for RegAlytics. We have the global supply chain of the world's regulatory alerts in one very easy to use place. If you need a solution related to regulation, give us a call.